What if the absolute greatest success stories in sports aren't actually about the players who won everything? What if instead they're about the ones who lost it all and then fought their way back? Let's jump right into this explainer and look at a phenomenon that completely redefines how we measure success in professional sports. Think about the biggest names in tennis for a second. We usually just talk about the multiple Grand Slam winners, right? They completely dominate the conversation. But what about the players who reached the absolute pinnacle just once? Is that just, a story of fleeting glory? Or is it actually the foundation of a much more impressive, lasting legacy? Today, we're exploring the profound insights from the book, Rising Stars and Stumbling Blocks, to figure out exactly what truly makes a champion. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to define the one slam wonder and then unpack the remarkable journeys of Michael Chang, Tracy Austin, and Maria Bueno, before finally bringing it all together to look at their lasting tennis legacy. Section 1. The One Slam Wonder. Defining a unique legacy. So we hear the term one-hit wonder all the time, right? And it's usually used as an insult, kind of dismissing someone who just couldn't hold on to that top spot. But in this explainer, we're completely redefining that term into a badge of extraordinary human spirit. A one-slam wonder is a player who conquered a major tournament just once, but their journey afterward, overcoming literally immense obstacles, transforms that single victory into this profound lesson in grit. We're shifting the focus from just celebrating simple dominance to celebrating our human ability to get back up when life knocks us down. Because honestly, the real victory isn't just hoisting the trophy. It's what you do after the confetti is swept away and the cheering completely stops. Moving on to Section 2, Michael Chang's teenage triumph, the tactician's will. Picture this. At the staggering age of just 17 years and 110 days old, Michael Chang completely shocked the entire tennis world. He entered the 1989 French Open and took down literal giants of the sport, like Ivan Lendl and Stefan Edberg, becoming the youngest male player to ever win a Grand Slam singles title. I mean, just imagine the immense pressure here. He's battling seasoned legendary pros on those grueling red clay courts of Roland Garros at 17. In the fourth round against Lendl, Chang was cramping so severely he could barely even stand up. He was desperately drinking water and eating bananas right there on the court just to keep his body from totally shutting down. He was fighting sheer, paralyzing physical exhaustion. But you know what? He absolutely refused to quit. Now, Chang was facing this traditional, power-focused approach from much larger, stronger opponents who could basically just blast the ball right past him. So how did he counter that overwhelming force? Well, he used his diminutive stature to build an incredible defensive strategy. He relied on unmatched agility, lightning-quick footwork, and incredibly audacious tactics. During that very match against Lendl, in a moment of pure tactical genius, Chang delivered his famous psychology-breaking underhanded serve. It was wild. It completely shattered Lendl's rhythm and focus. Chang quite literally outsmarted and outlasted the power players, proving once and for all that physical size and brute strength aren't the only ways to win a championship. It was a total triumph of intellect and unbreakable willpower. Section 3. Tracy Austin's remarkable comeback. The prodigy's pain. Tracy Austin's early ascent was, well, it was absolutely staggering. At just 12 years old, she became the youngest pro match winner ever. By 14, she makes the spectacular U.S. Open debut. And at 16, she claims the ultimate prize, defeating the legendary Martina Navratilova to become the youngest U.S. Open champion in history. It was this crazy period of absolute record-breaking dominance. But then, the unthinkable happened. Right as she was poised to rule the sport for an entire generation, she suffered a horrifying car accident, resulting in a devastating back injury. The emotional whiplash here was just severe. She went from being on top of the entire sporting world, the golden girl of tennis, to fighting excruciating pain just to walk onto a court again. Yet, through pure, unadulterated grit and years of agonizing rehab, she pulls off a spectacular comeback, defying all the odds to win a second U.S. Open in 1981. She proved her spirit was entirely unbreakable. If you find this analysis valuable, please like and subscribe to Knowledge Lighthouse to help us bring more truths to light. Section 4. Maria Bueno's graceful resilience, the artist's endurance. Now, Maria Bueno's path was entirely unique. She was a true South American pioneer, almost single-handedly putting Brazilian tennis on the global map with her monumental 1959 French Championships win. She brought a level of artistry, grace, and finesse to the courts that was just universally mesmerizing to watch. But, her story is also one of immense, unseen struggle. Right at the absolute height of her career, she faced a grueling fight against a severe, life-threatening illness that forced her off the tour for a really long time. And this was compounded by painful chronic injuries. Honestly, a lot of people thought her beautiful career was just over. Yet she channeled this deep inner strength and made a triumphant, against all odds comeback to win the 1968 Wimbledon women's doubles title. Her endurance proved that true artists possess a spine of steel. The legendary Rod Laver actually summarized her impact perfectly. He said, "Maria Bueno's elegant playing style was a joy to watch. She reminded us that tennis is not just about power, but also about finesse and artistry." What a brilliant testament to her legacy, right? It perfectly underlines exactly how her peers viewed her. In an era where the sport was increasingly moving toward raw athletic power, she completely elevated the aesthetics and really the soul of the game, leaving a lasting mark on how tennis could and perhaps should be played. Section 5. A lasting tennis legacy. Life beyond the court. So what does this all mean? Well, Chang, Austin, and Bueno actually all shared three core traits. First, resilience, that sheer willpower to overcome massive physical and mental hurdles, whether it was Chang's size, Austin's severe back injury, or Bueno's life-threatening illness. Second, adaptation, the absolute necessity to evolve their playing styles to stay competitive against changing eras and tactics. And third, determination, completely redefining sport success. But why does this matter to us? Because, guys, these aren't just tennis strategies. They are life blueprints. Whether you're facing a massive disadvantage at work, maybe a sudden health crisis, or rapidly changing industry trends, you need the resilience, adaptation, and determination of a one-slam wonder. They prove that true greatness is measured not by how high you climb, but by how you bounce back when you hit the bottom. For the complete deep dive, own the paperback. Get your high-quality paperback edition on Amazon via the link in the description. Add it to your collection today. Please share this explainer and check the description for more. I'll leave you with this. If your greatest setbacks are actually just the foundation for your ultimate comeback, what are you waiting for?